My biggest regret is that I didn't go all in way earlier.
Hey, in my 20s, I made a lot of mistakes.
There's a lot of things that can sidetrack you.
Anybody can dream. You got to be a doer. You got to engage.
So to cap this all off, what is the one key lesson that you would give to the younger generation in order to be successful like yourself? Hey guys, my name is Jack, and we're here at Highlines Auto Show in Scottsdale, Arizona. And today we're going to be asking some supercar owners questions that I hope will be useful to you guys. Let's get this. I can't tell who owns these cars. Okay, that guy right there. Excuse me, sir. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Jack. Do you own this car?
Yeah, that's me.
Perfect. So I'm making a YouTube video right now trying to ask supercar owners questions to help the young generation to succeed. Can I have 2 minutes with you?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm here with
Richard.
And what car did you bring here today?
I got a 2018 Acura NSX.
And what was your first ever car?
My first car was a 1990 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, also white.
Now, what did you do to be able to go from that car to this Acura right here?
When I was 6 years old, I had a school folder with a 1990 white NSX on it. That was motivation for me. As soon as I saw that car, I said, I have to have that car. They ended up discontinuing that car in 2005, at which point I was only 21 and financially in no place to buy an NSX. 2009, I started a business, a company in Chicago, a small moving company. Worked very, very hard. And then in 2017, they came back out with the new NSX, but it wasn't until 2 years ago, that I finally saw this car show up at a dealership, and just the hard work and perseverance going through put me in a place where I could finally own one. So when I saw it, signed the paper, had it delivered to my house the following day.
Gotta respect the grind. In your 20s, did you have any regret, and how would you have done that differently?
You know, not a lot of regret, I wouldn't say. You know, when you're in your 20s, you know, people make a lot of decisions that probably aren't the best. There's a lot of things that can sidetrack you. Honestly, you know, as a young man, I had friends who were, you know, very close friends, best friends, people that I consider family, who, while we were going out doing things together, having fun, partying, living our lives, which I have no regrets about, unlike them, at the end of the day, I chose to get back on the horse and stay focused and work hard. Whereas a lot of those guys, you know, that lifestyle that we were living, which wasn't a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I don't have any regrets about that. I did enjoy, you know, going out and having a good time. But you've got to find that balance between having fun and staying focused. When it's time to play. When it's time to work. And that's what I did.
I totally respect that a lot. And I also relate to that. I have a couple of friends who are no longer friends with me because, you know, they're too distracted by all of the fun of the college life kind of thing.
Yep.
And so to cap this all off, what is the one key lesson that you would give to the younger generation in order to be successful like yourself?
Don't be afraid to do something different. You know, I was working for another guy who owned a moving company. I had a good position. I was making great money. However, I wanted to do it for myself and do it on my own. So I walked away from that job in order to start my own business. Went out, designed my own business cards, t-shirts, flyers. I handed them out around the city of Chicago. You know, I took that step, and it was scary because if it didn't work out, you know, then I'm back to square one again. But because I took that step and I wasn't afraid to do it and do something different, that's the reason why I was able to catapult myself into success. So don't be afraid to take that first step and do something different that's a little scary.
That's really good advice. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you. All right, we got a special guest. All right, so this is Kenton Cars. Are you ready for an interview?
I could be.
This is influencers in the wild. We're pre-gaming.
How much am I getting paid again?
We'll talk about that later. Yeah, backstage. I'm here with
Ken Cars.
All right, and he didn't bring a supercar here today, but he does have a supercar. What car do you own?
Right now I have a Corvette C8, but I've owned a Lamborghini Gallardo, Audi R8, a bunch of other cool stuff.
What was your first ever car?
My first car was a 2011 Audi A5.
Dang. And what did you do in your younger days to be able to afford that car and all the supercars you've owned?
That car my parents bought me, and they've helped with some of the other cars and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is that I've been in social media for the last pretty much 12, 13 years, making money on social media, and mostly through agencies, through my own pages, stuff like that. I've been doing a lot of work in just the general social media space.
And do you have any regret in your younger days?
My biggest regret is that I didn't go all in way earlier. If you stay consistent with anything long enough, you're going to be successful at it. So the biggest thing is starting now and not stopping.
And okay, to cap this all off, what is the one key lessons that you give to the younger generation to be successful like yourself?
Don't care what anybody else thinks. It sounds like the most basic thing ever, but fail, 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 fail. I promise you that's how you make it.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Hey man, just want to say, great Ferrari, man.
Thanks, man.
What's your name?
Appreciate Conor.
Connor? Jack. So I'm just doing a YouTube video asking supercar owners questions to help the young.
The guy you want to ask it there, the guy in the blue?
All right, I got you.
He's the guy to ask.
Nice to meet you, though. All right, guys, so I'm here with
Alan,
What car did you bring here today?
we brought the Pista and the SF90.
First of all, they looked beautiful. And what was your first ever car?
Chrysler Cirrus, 2000 on the dot, I think.
Great. And what did you do to be able to go from that car to these two cars right here?
You have to be an entrepreneur and you have to work for yourself. It's very difficult to create that kind of income without risk, without starting a business, and without trying to grow that at the same time. So you have to do your own thing.
Absolutely. And in your younger days, in your 20s, did you have any regret? And how would you have done that differently?
I don't think I changed anything. I mean, you work hard, you listen, and you try to find someone 10 to 15 years older than you that's done what you're trying to do to mentor you along the way. You cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. You have to have other great people along the way.
What is the one key lesson you give to the younger generation in order to be successful like yourself?
Kindness wins. It does. Be a good person. It comes back to you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, so you just heard it from Alan. The number one advice he got is to find a mentor. Having mentorship is super important. You don't know what you don't know, and you cannot learn without a teacher. You can't do everything by yourself. All right, guys, let's keep it rolling. All right, guys, so I'm here with,
Richard Weinblatt.
and what cars did you bring here today?
So I brought a Z06, the red one behind you, and then the McLaren, the black one right here.
And what was your first ever car?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I think it was a Honda Accord in the early 80s.
Wow. What did you do to be able to go from that car to these two amazing cars right here?
So I've been fortunate. I've had 3 very successful careers, one in higher education, one in business, one in law enforcement. I got to the top of each one, everything from a dean and vice chancellor in higher ed to a police chief in law enforcement and in business. I currently own 5 crime and trauma scene companies.
And in your 20s, did you have any regret at all?
Hey, in my 20s, I made a lot of mistakes. I have a 23-year-old son. We talk about this a lot. I talk to young people all the time about the recipe for success, whether it's bodybuilding, whether it's culinary, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's higher education, whatever it is, the recipe is just the same. One of the things I did really, really good is I surrounded myself with people more successful than me. If you're going to hang out with jerks, you're going to be a jerk. So you want to hang out with super successful people. That's why I hang out with you. Right? And even if it's a different field, the concepts are the same. It's people that are driven. It's people that respond right away. Somebody sends me a text or an email, they get an immediate response within very, very short time, to the point that when I've been in situations where I could not respond to my team or something, they start to get worried. You know, you got to have that reputation of dependability. You got to be able to solve people's problems. Steve Jobs took it a step further. He created a need. But one of the things that people like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, there are certain things you can pick out from them. One of them is they have the ability to laser focus. That's one of the things I've done. You know, I have 2 master's degrees. I have a doctorate. I'm not necessarily smarter than you. I'm just more disciplined than most people, and I'm laser focused. And I learned that by watching people more successful than me.
That's a really good lesson. So you have to be willing to get your hands dirty, be reliable, be active, and surround yourself with successful people, even if they're not in the same field.
Absolutely.
Everyone, you can learn a little bit of everything from everyone.
Right. And you got to execute. Tons of people say, hey, I want to work with you. Fine. Text me. I would say 9 people out of 10 don't text me. They don't follow up. They don't execute. Anybody can dream. You got to be a doer. You got to engage. You got to make things happen. You know, it's like Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done.
If you can summarize all this in one sentence, what is the one key lesson you can give to the younger generation to be successful like yourself?
They gotta be willing to work. Everybody wants the cars. Everybody wants the money. Everybody wants the title. They don't want to put in the work. And everything I've done, whether I've been a paid employee or I've been an entrepreneur, I have always put 150%. Again, it goes back to that dependability.
Right.
I make things happen. You make things happen. You were bold. You walked up to me, right?
Yes.
I respect that. I have a lot of respect
Thank
for the
you,
way
thank
you
you.
walked up to me. That was cool. You had some courage, basically you had some balls.
Yes.
And that was cool. You made it happen.
Thank you.
This is why you start producing a product enough consistently that people can depend on you and they go, oh, we want to go to Jack's page. Jack has good content. It's the same recipe for success.
All right, guys, you heard it from him. We've learned a lot today, and I really appreciate your
No
time
problem.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And let me give you my contact real quick.
Okay.
All right, guys. So the show is over. It's 10. Everyone's leaving. There were a lot more people that I wanted to talk to, but I couldn't because by the time I ran to them, they're already on their car, getting ready to leave the show. But that's all right. You just have to practice and keep getting better and don't be discouraged. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I hope you found that helpful. My name's Jack. I'll see you next time.